There is a fantastic Zen story about two monks who came from a monastery, obviously, and the monastery had quite rigid doctrines concerning the interaction with females, with women. They were all male monks, and they weren't allowed to touch women. Anyway, it was an elder monk, the master, and a younger monk, the apprentice. And they had held lectures in a village the night before, and they set out early in the morning. They had a good day's walk back to the monastery. And quite early on the journey, they hadn't walked far, they came across a river that they had to cross. And on the same side, there stood a woman. She was trying to cross the river, but she couldn't without ruining her clothes. So the elder monk walked up to the woman and he said, "Please, let me help you." And he put her on his back and he carried her across the river. And he put her down and she bid farewell and thanked him. And the two monks began to walk again, the long walk, and they walked in silence. However, the young monk, now he just couldn't let go of what the elder monk had done, his master, who was supposed to teach him all about the monk life and the doctrine of the monastery. And he had just seen him pick up a woman, carrying her across the river. And the day went on, and the younger monk, he didn't dare to say anything to his master, but he just couldn't let go of the thought. And it dwelled within him, and it sort of consumed him from the inside that his master had done this. And so in the evening, after walking a full day in silence, he could no longer keep it contained within himself as they were walking up to the monastery. And so he turned to his master and said, "Master, I cannot keep quiet about this anymore. You went against the monastery, against our doctrine. You touched a woman and you carried her over the river. How could you do this? You are the master, I am the apprentice." And the master just looked at him and smiled. And then he said, "Yes, it is true. I touched a woman. I picked her up and I carried her across the river. And then I put her down on the other side. You, however, you are still carrying her